A very good evening to you and welcome to Correro, the platform where we break down the issues shaping Nigerians' future. I am Godwin Sunday. Artificial intelligence is no longer science fiction. It is here influencing how we work, learn, trade, and even govern. Across the world, governments are setting up policies to regulate and harness AI for development. Here in Nigeria, the federal government has rolled out its national AI policy aimed at positioning the country to compete in the global digital economy. But big question remains, how prepared are we for large-scale adoption? What do generative AI tools mean for jobs, innovation, and regulation? Are we ready to manage the risk that comes with this technological wave? Well, to shed more light on this, we have with us in the studio Samuel Nnitiwe, an AI consultant who will help us unpack the opportunities and challenges of Nigerians' AI policy. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, the conversation begin. Please stay with us. Welcome back. With me in the studio right now is Samuel Nnitiwe. You're welcome to Correro.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Samuel, the world is becoming it is becoming a global village, a small community. Nigeria is also part of this small community. With the introduction of V3 and other ChatGPT and other technology that's been introduced as artificial intelligence, we are even compelled to want to embrace all of this. The government have come up with policies in this regard. But generally, when you look at the government policies and where we are right now, let's get even a professional assessment. Where are we in the analysis and also the AI evolution?
Yes, okay. So with regards to where we are as a nation, I would say with respect to policies, the government has made some efforts to get us be able to compete with the global space. So when we start look at, for instance, policies like data protection. So when you talk about adopting artificial intelligence, being able to compete with the global space, one of the first things you have to confront is how do you handle data privacy, misuse of AI, and misuse of data and all this. So so the data protection, the Nigerian Data Protection Commission has made efforts to put out policies that help guide business users or AI professionals who are trying to adopt these tools. So that is like one good step. And then also the training of there's the 3 million technical professionals program that was set up to empower, to train 3 million Nigerians to be skilled in data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence generally. So that shows that we are moving in the right direction, or at least Nigeria is making effort. The government is making efforts to train Nigeria or citizens to be able to compete with the global space. And also, when you look at contributions in the Nigerian artificial intelligence research scheme, which was set up to train, I think they empowered about 45 startups and researchers as well. So these are efforts that the government has made. So with respect to policies, there are efforts that have been made to help us at least kickstart some of the campaign, or would I say being able to position us to compete. But when it comes to implementation, in Nigeria, the major challenge is not the policies. We have, for a lot of scenarios, we have very good policies that look good on paper, but the challenge comes majorly when you're trying to execute these policies. So most of the challenges we have are limitations due to when it comes to execution. So when you look at Nigeria, you see that we have, unlike foreign countries, we have limitations when it comes to data centers for training AI models, and we also have limitations when it comes to infrastructure. Even though there are efforts being made to partner with private sectors and funding, but we are struggling to catch up. And but the good thing is, so just trying to paint a picture too about where we are. So I think recently the GTEx conference that was held, the Minister of Communication made announcements about Nigeria making plans to build an indigenous LLM. So We have ChatGPT, we have Gemini, and most of these foreign large language models. But this shows that there's an active, there are efforts, there are good steps taken to get Nigeria to be able to compete, because if the government, or if with partnership with professionals, if due to partnership we're able to build an indigenous LLM that can understand Nigerian languages. I think it said you want to kick off with 5 indigenous languages, so maybe Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, and then 2 other languages. So if we're able to build indigenous large language models that would put Nigeria into context, to tell our stories, have have this context, this would be a very good step, and that will push us forward, because that's one thing that's been lacking. We have been more of consumers of generative AI tools. So it would be good to see that we can now start creating projects of our own. And also, I was also reading some weeks back about MTN and Airtel also building their data centers and providing GPUs. So if this is, although we have, there's still a long way to go before they'll be able to compete with established data centers like Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud Platforms, and so. But I believe that setting up this infrastructure is a step in the right direction, and with right partnership from the government and access to funds and support, we are beginning to let's say take a good step into the stage, and then compete with other countries or collaborate with other countries to boost our the AI space for Nigeria.
Right. Now, speaking of the generative rave, we understand that Nigeria is, you've called it, we are a consuming nation, but we are on the lead when it has to do with things that we can create with ChatGPT, Gemini, VO3, and all of these AI tools. Looking at the generative rave, they've been concerned, because Nigerians right now can even look at you, someone Nnitiwe, and create something about you talking, and meanwhile it's not you that is actually talking. At this point in time where the world is going global, should we be talking also about the AI policing structure? Probably we should initiate a particular security structure to be able to eradicate some of this abuse within the AI space.
Yes, that's actually a very good point, because it will be an incomplete decision to talk about the advantages or the growth of AI without exploring or highlighting its potential misuse. So it's very important to, and that's why, for instance, when I started, I was talking about the Nigerian Data Protection Commission. So that's a very good body that can set up the policing of this AI adoption. So when you talk about abuse, breaching of data or private data, like you said, and then also using it for fraudulent activities, misusing AI for fraudulent activities, and sometimes not just even misusing. There's intentional misuse by fraudsters, but beyond that intentional misuse, sometimes because even professionals can build overconfident systems that have not been vetted through and that have not passed some of the basic checks, and they can be catastrophic if integrated into businesses. So it's very important that professionals are held to high standards, so that whatever products or whatever AI solutions we are building are able to overcome common AI challenges. For instance, hallucination. So you see, hallucination basically is a scenario where generative AI generates content that is false but with high confidence. So it's like saying, who is the president of Nigeria, and ChatGPT tells you it's let's say David Mark or someone. You understand? Like, that's very wrong, but it tells you with confidence. So, and now imagine building a solution like this and integrating it into a decision-making pipeline. So you see that if you don't have checks for this, you are going to build something very catastrophic. So it's very important that there is a police, or I would say a healthy policing, because on the other side, there needs to be balance. There needs to be balance, so that you can encourage adoption and also development of AI, while also enforcing that there's ethical use. So because this will help to safeguard and then also eliminate some of these mishaps. We have cases. I think there was a project or a story, an article I was reading some times back that spoke about a British lawyer who prepared a case a legal case with ChatGPT and went to court, presented strong arguments, but the problem was most of these arguments were not true. So it's so you see scenarios like that. So and he got it put him in trouble. So if although these tools are very powerful, it's very important to first of all have professionals that are well equipped to understand the limitations, not just limitations, understand also how, where they are relevant, where to use them, and also how to mitigate these limitations. So yes, so that would be a collaborative effort between like a regulatory body like the Data Protection Council, and then also other sensitization, and also maybe like I would say yes, some kind of way to review products that will be integrated into public systems or even serious business solutions, so that we are able to say, okay, these systems are safe.
Well, Nnitiwe, to a very large extent, the Nigerian universities are also feeling the brunt of artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
A lot of students right now are even afraid to read. Give them term papers. They will go to ChatGPT and other platforms to generate a term paper, a book review, and you see almost a chorus and almost the same answers coming from that angle. At this point in time, looking at the federal government's AI policy, should we even be talking as a people of AI, a policy of initiating AI, introduction of AI, or even try to implement AI within our system right now, knowing fully well that a lot of Nigerians, it will push us to that direction of being a bit lazy academically. Should we be talking about AI at this point?
Yes, so that's a good angle, or like I say a challenging.
Most people don't read again, so you just
exactly.
put it on ChatGPT and it gives you what you want.
How I like to look at it is, first we need to have the right definition for what AI is, or even when we are looking at problems, we try to see, okay, what the actual root cause is. So AI is a powerful tool, and just like any powerful tool, it can be misused. So the issue with respect to students misusing AI, or fraudsters misusing AI, or or employees misusing AI, it's an amplification of existing problems, right? So students who are not serious with the academics, or who are not who don't take time to study, when they find AI, rather than copying the assignments, rather than copying research and all these things, these are practices that have been existing before ChatGPT, right? So, but now we have a tool that helps them to do it better. So, how do you combat issues like this? I like to say, in order to combat AI effectively, you have to use AI, right? So, lecturers will need to find innovative ways to combat these challenges. So if students are using AI, you also try to use AI. There needs to be the solutions that detect AI, poor use of AI, and not necessarily, like it's not necessarily in such a way, in a very basic way that says, okay, if this article is written by AI, no. But I believe if even it calls for an improvement in the way questions are set. Right? Even when you look at interviews, for instance, now when we look at the workforce, you see that even developers these days, initially when you're trying to interview for jobs at Google, Facebook, you have this coding interview test where you are given a problem and you're asked to solve it. But now AI can generate these solutions in splits of seconds, and then people are able to candidates are able to pass through. So, what is the solution? You see that these companies gradually are changing the way in which they interview. So rather than giving you a problem to say, okay, use a binary tree to find this, use a binary tree to use a linked list to do this, they have made the problem more complex, and you are now allowed to even use AI as a collaborator. But now the test has now been intensified to check how you assess and solve problems. So why am I bringing this? Because for students, right, this is a call for lecturers to also evolve in the way questions are set. Understanding, when you understand that students have access to AI tools, because even if you use tools that detect AI, there are a lot of tools coming up that still try to find a way to bypass this detection. So how do you still put students to stimulate their brain, their minds, and learn even when you have very powerful tools as this? I believe that the way forward would be to evolve in how questions are set, and then also looking forward. So for instance, you see, for instance, when you look at the idea, and like when I say combating AI with AI, for instance, when you look at the idea of fraudulent activities, all these deepfakes, images can be doctored, videos can be doctored, but how has that been combated? You have two AI tools. Google is working on an AI tool, and then I think Stability Fusion also is coming up with an AI tool that that can detect AI generated videos, AI generated pictures, and this is still AI. You understand? So the way to combat AI will also be to use AI to detect them. So I would say lecturers, because AI is not going anywhere. Like AI has come to stay. Adoption, in fact, as a matter of fact, it's either you adopt or you're left behind, because it's people who are adopting are moving fast. Like in fact, the AI tools that are being developed every day is moving at the space that is too fast. It's too fast for even the users to be able to catch up with. So when it comes to issues like this, we can't say we can't put a ban on AI tools in school. It will be difficult to even implement that. So the way forward would be to improve and evolve in the way students are assessed, so that even when you use AI tools, we are still able to test and stimulate the reasoning or assess the students' ability to be able to like build solutions, because the idea at the end of the day is to be able to be creative, build solutions, and also solve problems. So build using AI with the involvement, I believe lecturers should begin to find creative ways to go further.
All right, so we've been confronted right now as a people, a situation where a lot of Nigerian history is being retold by the artificial intelligence. We don't have much of Nigerian languages even captured in the various AIs that we see. Yeah. With such innovation, I beg your pardon, can we say at this point that AI is gradually phasing our traditions, culture, and beliefs that we've had so far into extinction?
So I'll put it this way. Let me try and rephrase it. I'd rather say our the slow rate at which we are adopting or joining the competition or joining the rest of the world in adopting AI is phasing out our culture. And this is why, because if you use a Chinese powered AI tool like Queens or Kemi or DeepSeek now, and you try to query that on Chinese data, you see that it has a lot of it's very insightful. It has a lot of resources and can tell you a lot about China and Chinese culture and things like that. So when you use ChatGPT, when you use Gemini, US-based tools, you see that these tools are working and are able to also are able to respond to this issue. So for Nigeria, first of all, when you look at even in language indexing, you see that I think Google some years back had a project that was trying to index indigenous languages in Nigeria, trying to profile them and index them. So efforts to even index Nigerian languages, it's not so much a project that is of concern to Nigeria as it should be. So you see foreign bodies being prioritizing that. So if we want to tell our stories, if we want to have AI solutions that will be Nigeria first, then we need to invest in capturing, first of all, capturing Nigerian data, being able to index this, because if you don't have this data, if you don't tell these stories, who will tell them for us? So if you are building AI solutions, and that's why I'm saying this recent innovation or announcements about building an indigenous language is a step in the right direction, because if we want to build solutions that, or want to be a scenario whereby AI doesn't forget about the Nigerian culture or misrepresents the Nigerian culture, then we have to proactively first provide training data and also build solutions that are good enough to integrate this information and also tell them. So this is a call for the government, for private bodies to take data collection, data gathering, annotation, and also like model training seriously.
All right, just before I let you go,
Yes.
a lot of Nigerians right now are skeptical. As a matter of fact, not even, they're afraid that with the introduction of AI, they're going to lose their job. Do you want to quickly react to this? Should we be afraid of losing more jobs with the introduction of AI? Or will the AI provide more job opportunities for the timid Nigerian youth?
I'll bluntly say it will do both. Some jobs will be phased out, and some jobs will be created.
So are we losing jobs or are we getting more jobs?
Are
we losing more jobs?
We will get. I believe that we will get more opportunities. Right?
Not the jobs.
We'll get more jobs.
Okay.
Yes, job opportunities. So
a lot of people will be fired.
yes. So
Okay.
yes. So a lot of entry levels, like, and some of these administrative roles might be disrupted. I would like to use disruption, right? So the job space will be disrupted in the sense that even existing jobs, not all jobs will be phased out, but most jobs, the routine operations in most jobs will change, even including development, software development. How you go about, like what's the typical roles or tasks that you carry out in your role will change because of AI, but it will also create new roles. So if you look at, for instance, the internet, before the internet, things like job descriptions like streamer, YouTuber, social content creator, they didn't exist. When you look at social media marketer, digital marketer, all these roles didn't exist. So the coming of the internet has affected some of the traditional rules, like for instance how people ingested news in the past versus now. You can't debate the fact that it's changed how news, and then also media houses had to adopt. So, but it didn't phase them out, right? So, and I'm just bringing that because it will be false to say AI is not going to disrupt the job market. It will disrupt job market. So some roles will be phased out, some roles will transition, and also many opportunities will be created. So rather than being scared about so many roles that will be phased out, it's very important to see how your current role will transition. So how can you use, as a developer, for instance, I no longer need to be writing so heavy code. I might focus more on like reviewing code bases and ensuring that there's logical flow and everything like that, because AI now writes code. AI builds applications now. So even for developers, AI is transforming how our day-to-day roles or tasks are being carried out. So AI is going to disrupting the job space. It's going to transition a lot of roles, but it also comes with a lot of opportunities. You have things like the prompt engineer. If even now as a content creator, you can create Hollywood-style kind of videos or movies if you have very good use of AI solutions, which is cutting down cost by so much more. So even when we look at the disruptions and the fact that, okay, maybe you no longer need to do certain things, or maybe on all this, there's a lot of we can look at, instead of panicking, we can look at the so many opportunities that are coming because of AI, because it's bringing a lot of opportunities and bringing solutions to even the
yes. Nnitiwe, that opportunities we will definitely talk about, because we'll definitely bring you back to talk about the AI and its solution that it provides for Nigeria. But I want to say thank you so much for finding out time to be with us here in the studio.
And thank you for having me too.
Well, we'll go for this short break, and when we come back, we'll talk more even here on Correro. Please stay with us.